Howdy ho. Hey Witchy. Hey Splash and Fall. Hey Moon. Hey Shay. How's everyone doing today? Hey Shalama. So, guess we had a show last night. So we had a show last night and the night before, and Jamie really owned that Snuggles fellow. So I'm gonna play my I clipped it and I put it on YouTube and I put it on last night. I put it on Rumble. And Lindsay had a point when I put, hey Tracy, when I only put the basics, I only put on the first video that her husband, her current husband, as Snuggles tried to infer over at Queen Bee's, that, oh, her husband is this and that, which was totally false, and I was trying to point that out. But what I should have done was I should have pointed out the whole scenario, and I edited the video, and I put the whole thing on Rumble. And I made a community post, and I added the a nice long description so people could read. Hey Jason, hey Maggie May, Tracy. So everyone can read the whole thing. So we're gonna watch this golden exchange real quick. And this is the Rumble version I'm going to play. So.
Well, yeah, good agreed. Good Lord.
On your backup channel.
Who's this? Who's playing that?
Let's acknowledge this, Renee.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I thought I was muted. I was making sure I had it at the right.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No,
okay.
Lycan, you just came up. Can she finish real quick before you want to come up and say something, or you want me to let you up now? You want to say something now real quick? What's happening, man?
Like you got something to play, I can.
I was just going to help you play your clips, but also just to remark on that guy that just was up here. He's also a huge hypocrite because he's going around, accusing Lindsay's husband of molesting her daughter. So,
yeah. And as for what Jamie just said, her current husband did absolutely nothing wrong. So I'm just putting that out there. Okay. Jamie's husband did Lindsay's husband did absolutely nothing wrong. So let's continue.
He says just as many disgusting things about people's kids.
Yes, even nobody. I mean, why do you guys do that?
Yeah,
why?
I don't know why they do it.
I don't understand it either because isn't the fight between the adults on here? It's a drama community after all. So what do people's kids have to do with anything on here? Really? So if you have something to say it to the person. You don't have to bring up their kids. Damn. These imbeciles on here, no class, no morals, absolutely nothing.
But
stop watching people over in that community anymore.
I'll
Like
mute.
I can't.
Oh, really, bitch? For life, you go to all these communities with your wrenches. You got to have a wrench, and you got to stick your nose into everything.
With that stuff. What the fuck? Why? I don't understand.
Anyway, Queen, I'm gonna skedaddle, guys.
Queen, you don't understand a lot of things. So when it comes to over here, so I'll just put that out
I'll
there.
work tomorrow. You guys have a good one.
All right, man. We'll see you
I'm
later.
leaving.
Bye.
Bye.
What's up, Snuffles? You're back up here.
I'm back. What's up, bitch? Anyway,
So he just called. I don't know who's. So Snuggles is actually calling Queen Bee a bitch, or saying, "Hey, bitch, I'm back." So that's actually disrespectful when you say, "Hey, bitch." When I think of the word bitch, and when you call a woman a bitch, it's an insult, not a word of endearment. I'm just saying. So this guy is.
so me talking, say that again. Like, I'm sorry, I got cut off when I switched over to the StreamYards. Just continue what you're saying.
I was just saying that you accused Lindsay's husband of molesting their daughter when he didn't.
Isn't that in the court paperwork? And isn't that what Lindsay brought to the fucking internet?
No.
Oh, it's not?
So right there, Snuggles is getting the whole thing wrong. I think he's, in my opinion, he's twisting the whole thing to his own agenda because he hates Lindsay. He hates Jamie. He hates everyone on here, on this platform. And he has a long history of abuse. So.
See, you motherfuckers got amnesia now. Lindsay's the one that brought that shit.
No, Snuggles. We don't have amnesia. You just got the whole story wrong. And the reason why I didn't bring up TT, because this whole thing didn't have anything to do with TT. So.
And Lindsay's the one talking about that shit. And Lindsay's the one that brought her fucking daughter on to say that, no, I lied. That never happened. I didn't fucking come up with that shit. Anything else?
You twist shit.
Yup. Absolutely right, Jamie.
Oh, go ahead. What I twist?
You twist that whole situation. I'm not going to talk
exactly
about it with you.
Happened. The motherfuckers in here know their history.
Dee.
Oh, you know your history, Snuggles? Bullshit. You totally got it wrong on Queen Bee's panel. Didn't you? Totally wrong.
You wanted to play some clips, right?
Yes.
I have no interest in talking to this guy.
I wouldn't have any interest in talking to him on a panel after the way he's talking.
Sure you don't. You like talking when I'm not up, right? So talk.
Well, you came up and said you wanted to talk to him, or you had something to say to him.
So this is the truth right on the screen. It was her ex, who is a convicted sex offender TT contacted to interfere in her custody. Her current husband did nothing. Nada. Zilch. So we all know the story. We all know the story. TT hates Lindsay and her her shrinking circle. And she wanted to go real life on Lindsay. So what did she do? She contacted her ex, who happened to be a convicted sex offender. And they were actually helping this creep try to get custody, blah, blah, blah. And her current husband did absolutely nothing wrong. So what you just heard hey, Pookie. Hey, Sabrina. Yeah, he starts flailing at this point. You know, it's... Oh, yeah, he's so tough, you know? Oh, I'm so tough, you know? Boo-hoo, you know? It's like, we're so scared of you, Snuggles. It's... Mm-hmm. Glaring little man syndrome. And it's getting...
I thought that.
I came up because he came up talking shit
No,
after
not
I
you.
jumped the
I'm
fuck
saying,
down.
like,
So I jumped back the fuck up.
He came up and said, yeah, he said that.
So according to what I'm hearing, so he pulls over to the side of the road just to hop back on Queen Bee's panel, just to rage, just to rage at Jamie. Interesting concept, you know. So you're tuning in to a live stream on YouTube, and someone has an opinion. It was like how many lines was it? Like 1 or 2. So he has to get up, he has to get back up there and start yelling and twist the facts just to trigger everyone.
Yeah, that's why you came back up, was to address him, right? He was talking to you.
So address me then, Lycan.
I said what I said, and that's all I have to say.
All right, so get the fuck
For
down.
now. No, I'm not going to get the fuck down. I have clips to play after Dee Dee's done. So why don't you get the fuck down, bitch?
I will get the fuck.
So now this is my favorite part. This is where Snuggles gets owned. This is where he gets owned. This is gold. This part is gold.
Good, midget.
Okay.
How tall are you? 5 foot? Yeah,
Dude,
I'm 10 inches taller than you.
You know what?
I'm back you with my fucking dick and slam you on the ground.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up and get off the panel. You got nothing left to add here. You got nothing left to add here. Get the fuck off.
Remember that little fucking thing you had there. Remember that.
Dee Dee, go ahead and play.
Slap you with my fucking dick, bro.
All right, now come on. No, we're not doing that.
Guys, come on now.
Nope, we're not doing that. Both of y'all have a good night. I appreciate you. Go ahead and play your clips, honey. Go ahead. Get on. Come on.
Okay, all right.
I mean, seriously, how pathetic is it though?
No.
Nothing left to add here. You got nothing. How tall are you? 5 foot? Yeah,
Dude,
I'm 10 inches taller than you.
No, what?
I'm back you with my fucking dick and slam you on the ground.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up and get off the panel. You got nothing left to add here. You got nothing left to add here. Get the fuck off.
Remember that little fucking thing you had there. Remember that.
Dee Dee, go ahead and play.
Slap you with my fucking dick, bro.
All right, now come on. No, we're not doing that.
Guys, come on now.
Nope, we're not doing that. Both of y'all have a good night. I appreciate you. Go ahead and play your clips, honey. Go ahead. Get on. Come on.
Okay, all right.
I mean, seriously, how pathetic is it though? That somebody even has to Google what their age would be?
So I don't think it was fair that Jamie got thrown off when Snuggles was the one who started the shit. Now before, this was on Queen Bee's panel, Maggie May. So Jamie just hops up, and right before this whole thing started, Snuggles was raging, calling everyone in chat hypocrites, scuzz buckets, you name it. You name it. He was calling out the entire chat, and so Jamie hops up on panel after he leaves. And he commented, he's no better than some of the other people that go real life or make threats to people. Because we all heard that he's been in court how many times for ROs? Just saying. For his big mouth. Because he has this unfiltered mouth, and so Jamie was just spitting out facts that I totally agree with them. So when Snuggles got down from there, Jamie got up and said, you heard him, that he's practically no better. He sits there and he talks about people's kids and harasses women on here. Oh dear, Witchy, you know. So what Jamie said was correct. It's not like he got up on a panel and lied. And hey, Snuggles got up there, got back up there, wanted a response, and he got one. So, and he got owned for it. So, what do you expect from us? Oh, he is? Oh, my goodness. So we got to go over to Johnny's. Oh, poor thing. Give me a second. Well, I don't hear him saying anything, so unless he said something earlier, I don't hear him talking about me, so. Yeah, Snuggles is a man. He's dwarf sized Maggie May. So yeah, I just went over to that little scam artist channel, and he's playing video games, so he could talk about me all he likes, really. It's not gonna take away from things he's been doing. So he can cry victim, and it's all my fault. It's all Siren's fault. It's all Jamie's fault. It's all Sarah's fault. But at the end of the day, it's he's responsible for his own actions. He's responsible for his own actions, and that's all I have to say about him. You know, it's what's he gonna do, you know? What's he gonna do anyway, you know? So last night with on Jamie's was a presentation on who was the worst. Was it Grant? Was it Street Rat? Or was it Voices? Now, I don't know the answer to that, to be quite honest with you. It's the thing with Street Rat is she does all her shit behind the scenes, while Voices does most of her shit in public. So I could see why people voted on his poll that Voices was the worst, because we see all those nasty comments, you know, the split for splat and all the other controversial comments, and her being, what do you call it, a plain old bitch. But Granny's watching is just dirty. Let's just put it that way. I think she's more consistent. Is that the word I'm looking for? She sat there for over a year talking about someone's private parts, making up names for them, like nicknames like Lysol and Fungi Dick. And I even heard a clip, if anyone remembers this nasty little clip, where he was accused of ejaculating in children's medicine. Now that was totally disgusting. I'll say that. That was totally uncalled for. That was a long time ago. And that comment really stuck with me when I heard that clip. I'm not sure if it was Granny's watching or it was AJ. I'm not sure on that. But that comment really, so when she said that, it was like, huh? That's gross. But we all know. But I've noticed something. I've noticed something over the last few months, I think since July of last year, that Voices has gotten worse. While Street Rat has been consistent. I'm just pointing out observation. So ever since Kimball's and Craftles decided to go turncoat, what was it, the third time? So they went turncoat on Natasha Cooper. Then Kimball's and Craftles went turncoat on Granny's Watching. And then she ran over to this side of the community and stuck around us for a while until Jamie wouldn't do anything to Street Rat. He wouldn't file criminal charges. He wouldn't he spent, I think it was in his opinion that Tiffany was more dangerous at the time than she was. So that kind of pissed off Kimball's and Craftles, and they decided to go turncoat. And yeah, she said late spring. I don't know when it was. She was on a med change. I think it was later than that, Sabrina. Because she's acting worse. She's acting 10 times worse than she did before. I'm just pointing that out. Because I remember that she went postal on Lonnie's panel. Then she went postal on another panel. And I was like, huh? Voices, come on. You know, that was what I was thinking in my mind when I was seeing this shit. And then when Kimball's and Craftles decided to go sideways, guess where she was? Voices. She was over at Kimball's and Craftles. She was one of the few participants, one of the very few in that chat. Yeah, absolutely. Kimball's and Craftles still hasn't gone legal on Granny. It was all a grift, along with their housing scam. Oh, the housing donations wasn't totally a scam because they wanted their subs to pay for their moving expenses or something like that. So they got this nicer condo or something like that for I don't know, I forget how much money it was. But I called this out before and it was like, whoa, that place is nice. And her subs paid for it. I'm like, wow. It must pay to be a cheat on here. Just saying. And then Sabrina outed the DV scam that they were playing. So Voices has gotten worse. We all know that Voices always had a big mouth. Voices always was outspoken. Voices could be funny at times. When I first came around, I was told, I think it was by Mrs. Portland, to be honest with you, sent a message that says, "Oh, this girl Voices is live doing The Price is Wrong," and she's making I think she was making Mrs. Portland laugh or something at the time, and she sent the message to someone else. I said, "Oh," so I got that in my little chat box, and I said, "Okay, let me go over and see what this is all about." So Voices was making me laugh my ass off with the Price is Wrong thing. So, and then several other times she was making me crack up. So Voices can be pretty funny. But now she's not so funny anymore. We can see in her that there was a big change from early summer of last year. And you can't really blame it on the meds, Sabrina. I don't think either. Well, she blames it on a med change. Let's just put it that way. She blames it on a med change. And so it's all up to everyone who's worse. Is it Voices or is it Street Rat? I don't know, but they both suck. When you really get down to it, they both suck. I just can't put my finger on who's worse right now. I think yeah, and it's not a free pass. It's just like Mrs. Portland when you get right down to it, and it's just like Johnny. In a way, we don't give free passes because they say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was drunk. I'm sorry, I was high. Hey, Linda. Hey, Missy K." You just don't we just don't give excuses for people that say, "Oh, I was drunk last night. I'm sorry for my behavior." And then they drink again. They get drunk again and say, "Oh, they act up again." We don't give excuses to alcoholics and drug addicts either. It's the same thing with medication change. You know, with Voices, it's like it's not an excuse. If you are having issues with your medication, and of course, I could see that there's mental illness involved with Voices, perhaps she should stay off and see how this new medication works. And if it doesn't, she should go see her psychiatrist and have it adjusted again. I'm just being pragmatic here. It's just like Mrs. Portland. She sits there and says, "There's nothing wrong. I'm doing nothing wrong here." Hey, Lonnie. She sits there and says, "Oh, I'm doing nothing wrong." She acts up, says, "I'm sorry." And it takes how long to get her to get to the psychiatrist and get her meds changed? She sure looks like it, Lonnie. She sure looks like she hasn't showered since July. And I'm sure that it's something that some of these ladies over on the hate side of this community are going to celebrate, but it's nothing to celebrate. Yeah, 100%, Missy K. There's no shame in having mental health problems. Just be a responsible adult and take care of it, or take care of yourself. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's just with, yeah, as I said before, it's just with I think the main difference is with Street Rat, you have her doing her shit. She gets exposed for the shit she does behind the scenes. And then she lies and says, "Oh, I didn't do that. Oh, I didn't do that." Well, Voices sits there and says, "Well, I said that. I don't care." Well, I'll give Voices some points for at least being honest about it. So yeah, I said split the splat comments. I said this, and then and then the one time I remember going to her channel, the one day, and then she was saying, "Yes, I said that. I'm not sorry. Go fuck off." And I was like, "Okay, all right." I think that day she was telling MKB to fuck off. That little dirty little scammer. True, Witchy, but here's the thing. Sometimes people have to tell you, has to tell a mentally ill person, "Hey, get your meds adjusted." That's what friends do. You know, you're not acting right. But at the same time, Witchy, we're not going to hold your hand and take you to the doctor's office and sing Kumbaya on the way there. Oh, I'm so sorry. Lonnie? Oh, that must have hurt. That must have hurt. Yeah, I heard tonsils, when they get removed, it hurts the most. So enough with the that part. So I saw a live. I'm not even gonna bother watching it. So Bullhorn Betty has a live. Okay. Let's see here. Let me see if I can see if it comes back up on my feed. So I can show everyone. So apparently, Bullhorn Betty is talking about what our kids learn in school. And she's suddenly the expert in raising children. But she sure is the expert in going real life. I'll tell you that. In going on a megaphone and harassing the neighbors and waking them up in the at night or in the morning. I could say that for sure. So let's take a look. Let me go to her channel real quick. So Bullhorn Betty tells us what our kids are learning in school. So this is a clip. It's 3 minutes. And I was like flabbergasted. It's not like Bullhorn Betty is anyone. She's not a person of virtue. She's not someone. She's not a woman for kids to look up to as a role model. So I actually talked to someone on what kids are actually learning in school, some of the stuff, and it's actually pretty disturbing. Actually, in an American school. In the UK, it's gone too far, in my opinion. So, all right. So my lieutenant governor has a big mouth in this state. He has a tendency to use homophobic comments to get his so-called point across. Now, I had to actually look up what the idiot was talking about. And when I saw the content, when I looked up on the internet what the content he was talking about was circulating in our state schools, I can agree with him on the point where it shouldn't be circulating in schools. In high school. But you don't sit there and paint a picture of, oh, it's the entire gay community's fault. Or it's the entire or it's this group's fault. Now, the controversy behind that is some states, actually a lot of them, are putting pornographic materials in the high schools. Now, define pornographic. Now, I've seen a few samples of the books that the kids are reading, just a few pages, and I can't even show them on this platform. That's how dirty they are. So some of them actually have colored illustrations, like comic books, people having sex, and they call it sex ed. And if this happened when I was going to school, there would be hell. So some of them, they have these romance novels, and it's so sexually explicit. Step by step. It would make any parent's skin crawl. Now, it doesn't end well, Jason. So they have these dirty comic books in high school libraries with school. They have they choose books that are sexually explicit in the language. And I'm not even gonna bother reading a page from it. But do you want your children to read that? Ask yourself that question. Do you want them to read stories that come from a pornographic magazine? And this isn't sex ed, Witchy Nicole. This is English class. This is English class. So they pick these books. You know how remember Witchy, remember we had to read books for English class? So I remember in the 5th grade, we had to read what's it called? Little House on the Prairie was one of the books selected for us to read. So we had to read Little House on the Prairie, one or two of the books. It was part of the curriculum in the school district. So yeah, Witchy, it's just smut. So now in the high schools, they're picking books that are just smut, practically. It is disgusting, Linda. It is, absolutely. Now, is it age appropriate? Now, I have nothing against porn in general. Okay? I have nothing against these books. But putting them in high school or middle school, no, they're not age appropriate. I'm sorry. Now, if you want to go to the store, if you want to go to the store when you're 18 years old and you want to buy them, that's your business. That's your business. But it shouldn't be an assignment for English class to read a sexually explicit romance novel as part of your English assignment. I'm sorry. Now, this is what they're not. This is what they're not telling you, these school boards. And this is why some of these parents are getting upset, because they are seeing the homework coming home and they're speaking out at their school boards. And this is what we're seeing, some of the stuff we're seeing on TV. So, sex ed is a totally different topic, actually. It's a totally different subject in schools. Now, Sabrina brought that up, so I'm going to actually talk about that. So I'm a sex-positive parent because I was taught abstinence only method in Christian schools. And I didn't know anatomical and definitions of things until I was 15 in first sexual relationship and doing them. Okay, Sabrina, that's fair. So this is where in my opinion, sex education, hey Mama Bear, sex education in this country sucks. It's really, really bad. But some of these, so I heard of a program in Wales and the UK, which goes way too far. So they start sex ed in the UK at age 4. Now, in my opinion, that's too young. So they have these little books I read. Hey, Siren. So they have these little books, and they encourage using vegetables as sex toys. It's disgusting. For kindergarten? Damn. You don't teach kids that type of stuff. You don't. Now, I could see if it's middle school health class or high school kids, you teach them the basics of human anatomy or this crap. But you don't sit there with a graphic demonstration. Now, some of our politicians are totally ignorant. All right. Some of our politicians are totally ignorant on the facts. They want abstinence only teaching for sex ed in the US, thinking that's the only way to teach a child. But here's the thing. We are in a culture of sex, violence, and drugs. It's all over our TV sets. It's on the internet. It's all over the place. It's not the 1950s anymore, folks. So we have, I think, one of the highest hey, S. Hockett. So my daughter got her period at 9. So they teach them at that age, but their brains aren't mature enough to get it. They just sit there and giggle. What sucks is a 9-year-old could conceive. Absolutely. S-Hocket. %100. So a kindergarten kid or in preschool aren't going to get this woke nonsense of what a transgender person is. All right. So if your daughter at 9 couldn't get too much, if their brains weren't mature enough at that age, at 9, what about age 5 or 6? Damn. So I could see when I went to school in kindergarten. All right, they had a cop there. I think I remember this vaguely. We had stranger danger in school. I think it was in the first few years we were in school, and they were teaching us not to go away with strangers, and that's fine. That's 100% correct. But what age is appropriate for sex ed? Because this abstinence only crap isn't working. We have one of the highest rates of sexually active teenagers in the country. And our politicians are just saying, let's just teach them abstinence only. It's not working. Oh, that's so sad, Witchy. Yeah, and they're getting younger and younger and getting pregnant, like Witchy just said. They're getting pregnant younger and younger. So is this abstinence only crusade working? No. But at the same time, you got to have sex ed program, a way better sex ed program that isn't too graphic. But at the same time, teaches you, okay, we prefer you to be abstinent, but if you're not, this is what safe sex is. This is how you don't get pregnant if you choose to. And these are the consequences if... Absolutely, Linda. Absolutely. But some people think it's a topic to be had at home. However, some parents are like, what's the phrase? Too chicken shit. It's too taboo to talk about it all. So I'm not dragging any parents that feel it's weird to not have that conversation with their kids, but yeah, teaching them to be safe is number one. Absolutely. And maybe at 6, they should be teaching them about their bodies. Sex should be maybe middle school. It shouldn't be elementary school. It should be like age appropriate where they can understand it. Now, a long time ago, there was a Dateline episode. I don't know if you could find it for free on here or somewhere online, but they had a long study. This is in the Netherlands. Yeah, Hasaka, with this damn world, it's disgusting. With this damn world these days, it's so the Dutch program of sex ed, or in Europe in general, actually works. It actually works. So in the Netherlands, they have okay, Sabrina, that's a fair comment. It starts with the body parts, proper hygiene. Yeah, that it has to be simple to understand at the ages. It's not like you have to teach them all this taboo stuff at kindergarten. It's this woke crowd that goes too far. And they think handing out contraception or making it available encourages sexual activity, and I don't think it does. I don't think it does, because the Dutch have a navigator. So the Dutch have the lowest abortion rate per capita, the lowest teen pregnancy rate, the lowest STD rate. So are other countries in Europe. So they're doing something right. Oh, absolutely, Linda. Absolutely. They have books on that too, that they're assigning kids in high schools and middle schools, unfortunately. So this Bullhorn Betty knows shit of what's going on in our kids' schools. And not every school in the country is doing this. It's certain school districts and who's running the schools. It depends on your school board. It depends on the teachers. I like that idea, S. Hockett. You have to have this age appropriate when they will understand the stuff. You need a better health class curriculum that's not focused on just don't have sex. You gotta, in my opinion, you gotta say, okay, don't encourage them. Don't encourage them in class. They're acting on their urges. That's playing with fire. That's playing with fire. Yeah, which is always the preference at socket. You never encourage it. But at the same time, you say, if you're going to do it, these are the consequences to your actions. These are the consequences. You can get pregnant. You can get an STD. This is how you can prevent an STD or prevent from getting pregnant, but they're not 100%. And this is where you can go for STD testing, blah, blah, blah. You know, full accountability. Oh no, Linda, they don't want a lot of teachers don't want parents to tune in. Hell no. A lot of some teachers are like, they think some teachers are like activists. No, they're not there to spread their political agenda or teach their political beliefs to kids. They're there to teach kids and make them smarter, not to make them political activists or turn them into a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, whatever you want to call it. Yep, absolutely. Missy K. Absolutely. So we had a rogue teacher in high school. So we had a teacher, and she said, fuck you to the abstinence only thing. All right. She said, fuck you to that curriculum. And she just said, she didn't sit there and encourage us to have sex. She strongly discouraged it. All right. She didn't give us graphic tutorials with sex toys or She didn't bring out vegetables. She didn't do any of that. Yeah, high school only. Linda, you know, I was in high school when I got that rogue teacher. And it was age appropriate because we knew we could understand it, Linda. It was during health class. Absolutely, Missy K. So what she did was she said, this is where you go to the health department for free condoms and education. She told us about the what's that law called? Free harbor law. Where you can leave your kid, your baby, at the nearest police station, the nearest police station, fire station, hospital. She said, she told us about abortion. You know, she gave the consequences to having unsafe sex and what could happen. Isn't that what you want? That's what the Dutch program kind of is. And they have the lowest pregnancy rate, teen pregnancy rate, STD rate, and abortion rate. I think the teacher that in one of the schools in the Netherlands was interviewed, and he said he only seen, since the program was instituted, I think 25, 30 years ago, he only seen one teen pregnancy. While in our high school, we see yeah, because our teachers weren't allowed to talk about that, Linda. We had some teachers that did what did things they weren't supposed to be doing. Yeah, Navigator. That's what the Catholic schools taught you. You know, you don't have premarital sex or you burn in hell. And what a mortal sin it is, you know, or what's the other kind of sin? I forget. I'm Catholic too, so there's the mortal sins and there's the yeah, they didn't talk about because we weren't allowed because if you look at the curriculum, they're not allowed to talk about abortion, they're not allowed to talk about condoms, they're not allowed to talk about safe harbor laws. So they're just supposed to talk about the joys of abstinence. And that hasn't worked one bit. So we have a controversy. It's like we have some different opinions in this chat, and that's fine. But I think we can all agree on one thing. Graphic demonstrations in a classroom for students is unacceptable. And kindergarten is too young. As Hockett correctly pointed out, at age 9, they're too immature. Yeah. That was about the same age ours started, Witchy Nicole. They just taught us about our bodies, and that was it. We were put in different classrooms, and we had to watch a few videos, and they just taught us about our bodies, and that was it. They didn't really talk about sex at all. I didn't even know what it was till someone told me about it. Oh yeah, I was raised Catholic, Linda. I was raised Catholic too, and it's like Oh yeah, they're corrupt as hell. The Catholic Church is corrupt as hell. Catholic Church is corrupt as hell, and just like any other religion. But I don't know. Do you think the Catholic Church is the most corrupt? I think some places in the Middle East with Islam, they can be just as corrupt. It's not exactly the it's not always the parishioners or the people that go to the mosque. This is how I viewed it. This is how I always viewed it with these world religions. They're all big. They're big on control. No matter which religion you are, if you're Jewish, if you're Catholic, you're Protestant, if you're Muslim, they're all in for control. Yeah, me too, Linda. I'm not into organized religions. I learned that in that's good. Splash and bullet. I'm not sitting here to bash anyone's religion, but I'm not here to bash anyone's faith, but it's all about who runs the it's all about who's at the top of the pyramid. Like I said, I'm gonna reiterate, it's not like every Muslim, the stereotype that every Muslim is a terrorist, which isn't true. There are very good Muslims out there that practice their religion without issue. It's just what we have to the issue that's there is we just have to look out for extremists, and the extremists are considered non-Muslim by their peers. Okay, that's good, Sabrina. That's good. It's because my background is Catholic, Protestant, different denominations of Protestantism. Yeah, Navigator. I know the feeling. My father tried to get me immersed in the Catholic Church, and from a young age, I wasn't really interested. It was like this feeling, like I'm not into the dogma. Oh, really, Linda? I got to look that one up. Audience hall at the Vatican. Yeah. Okay, Linda. Let me just put it this way. The people at the Vatican are the ones that are on top. They're the ones who tell the churches what to do. They are they make up the rules. I'm not big fans of them. I'm not a big fan of the top honchos in Rome. Just put it that way. It's because it's all corrupt in Rome. The whole Hey, Robin. Oh, really, Linda? I didn't. Oh, yeah, I heard something about that. Their telescope is called Lucifer. But if you really think about it, it's Lucifer actually means light, if you translate it correctly. So who knows? Who knows what the Vatican, what their intentions are at one given time. So yeah, so Bullhorn Betty doesn't even know some of the stuff that's taught in our schools. Oh, and here's another weird fact that a lot of people don't know. So in some states, they are dropping they're lowering the bar for teachers. Did everyone know that? So did everyone know that they're lowering the bar for teachers, especially substitute teachers? So one of the states is Florida. Oh, yes, they did, Linda. I saw that. So I know someone I talk to on Facebook every so often. I knew her for years. And her sister, okay, was a high school dropout. She got her GED. All right. And she was born, I believe, drug addicted. And she's not that smart. All right. This girl's not that smart. She's a racist and a homophobe if you get to talk to her. So the state of Florida hired her as a substitute teacher. I'm serious. So I get a message one day saying that she got hired by the school district as a substitute teacher. And I'm like, what the fuck? Why would they hire her? Why would they hire her, you know? Oh, I get that, Robin, you know? The Catholic Church doesn't even recognize the way I am, so none of the churches really do. So it's like, with me, it's who cares, you know? So this girl gets hired as a substitute teacher. She gets thrown around from school to school each day. And she used to make, I hear she used to make some of the worst comments you could say about kids. She used to go on her cell phone in between classes and bitch and whine about some of these kids. I'm surprised she didn't get caught and get fired. I swear. So I don't know what these states are thinking by lowering the bar for subs. I don't know what they're looking for. Are they looking for a babysitter to babysit your kids? While the teacher's out? So it's just a high school graduate will do? They just sit at the teacher's desk and oh yeah, you got to read these books on the Vatican. I don't know. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about it, but oh yeah, S. Hockett, major privacy issues. You know, some of these teachers I'm hearing the lowering the bar. I think some of these teachers have to have 4 years of college education just to get into a classroom. Along with stringent background checks. So then the substitute teacher just has to have a high school diploma and she gets a job with the school district. I don't think that's fair. And I don't think that's fair to the kids. To be honest with you. I don't think that's fair to the children, because shouldn't they have someone that's at least a little educated or went through extensive training? At least. So Florida is one of those states that's lowering the bar for substitute teachers or teachers in general, just so they could pay less money. That's what I think it is. I think they want to pay less money, so they hire high school graduates, and then they give them a training program, the minimal training. So this is concerning. So maybe this is the way some southern states are handling it, because there's a shortage, and I'm sad to say a lot of these people are getting stupider and stupider, dumber and dumber. Look at the people in this on some of these channels. They can't even think for themselves. I tell my sons to pull their kids out of religion. No one knows one is still asleep. I haven't been in a church, Linda, I think in over 20 years. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it. If I actually Oh, absolutely, S. Hockett. And then some of the teachers I'm finding are, they put up these political banners in class, and they think it's their job to teach them social justice when that isn't even part of the curriculum. So they have these so the teaching profession tends to attract liberal, woke people. Oh, teachers do not get paid enough, Robin. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Teachers don't get paid enough. Thinking, except up north, I think in New York they get over I think some teachers get 75,000 a year up in New York, and I think some in California. It depends on the state, but some of these states they pay teachers so little. Oh, that's absolutely true, West Socket. If they were paid for all they had to put up with, and that's 100% true, Robin. Teachers in the South have the lowest pay, and that's the truth. I think here they get 30,000 if they're lucky. They get less than that. Oh yeah, Navigator in Illinois, they make a lot of money. So they graduate from the South as school teachers, and a lot of them go up. Unfortunately, Linda, that's needed. The metal detectors in the schools due to the school shootings. And security, that's another issue. That's a whole different issue. And so right before we go tonight, I made a few new clips for when I get super chats. So some of these are funny, so I'm gonna play one of them before he goes. So
love it today.
Would Your Honor have a big, long stick handy? Preferably barbed. I'm sorry? I'd like to bend over and have it run up my ass to complete the experience of appearing before.
that's absolutely true, Linda. So that's one of them. So that's one of the clips I have for super chats. I'll play the Lindsay one. I'll play the Lindsay one. I have one with So it's a lawyer named Lindsay who's antagonizing everyone. So let me play that one. So these will get played when you get when I get sent a super chat. So
Defend you, but it's getting harder and harder.
Defend me against what, her? Help somebody who needs it.
Is this what happens to women when you insert your penis? I'm just curious because they become greedy little...
So these ones are pretty funny. So we're gonna put the third one up. I got an so this one is when you don't get the verdict you like in a courtroom. So here's one with the prosecutor in contempt of court.
What?
Members of the jury, this completes your service.
You call that service?
Ms. Gamble.
What are you, moron?
Ms. Gamble.
What do you like the color of Mr. Donald's tie?
Ms. Gamble.
I don't care, Judge. That's it. That's it. This is what happens when you get 12 people too stupid to get out of jury duty. You end up with a bunch of unemployed, brain-dead idiots. Tell me, what would it take here? Did you have to stab the guy 8 times?
One more word.
Come on, raise your hand. Which one of you retards voted not guilty?
So those are my 3 new clips, and I make sure they're funny. I make sure it's funny, not gross. I don't play gross Mrs. P clips, everyone. So you don't have to worry about that. So I want to thank everyone for coming, and I'll see you next time. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up on the way out. Alrighty. Bye-bye.